In 2003, the most wanted man on earth vanished. The American military had tanks, helicopters, satellites, thousands of soldiers, but they could not find one man. Saddam Hussein had disappeared. No phone calls, no public appearance, no confirmed location, nothing. For the United States, this was becoming embarrassing because this just wasn't any fugitive. This was the former ruler of Iraq, a man who had controlled an entire country with fear for decades. And now, he was hiding somewhere in the shadows while the world's most powerful military searched desperately for him. But nobody knew that Saddam Hussein was hiding closer than anyone imagined. The story begins in March 2003. The United States Armed Forces launched a massive invasion of Iraq. American officials believed Saddam possessed dangerous weapons. The operation moved fast, very fast. Baghdad began collapsing under heavy attacks. Government buildings burned. Statues were pulled down. Iraqi soldiers abandoned positions. And suddenly, the dictator who once appeared everywhere simply vanished. One day Saddam was giving speeches on television. The next day he was gone. At first, American officials thought they would capture him within days, maybe weeks at most. But weeks turned into months, and Saddam Hussein became like a ghost. Everywhere American soldiers went, they heard the same thing. He was here yesterday. He just left. You missed him by hours. Again and again and again. Entire houses were raided in the middle of the night. Villages were surrounded. Underground bunkers were searched. Nothing. Sometimes, soldiers would storm into locations expecting to find Saddam, only to discover warm food still waiting on the floor, meaning he had escaped just minutes earlier. Imagine the frustration. The CIA was under pressure. The military was under pressure. Even the American president wanted answers. How does one man disappear inside a country filled with soldiers, drones, checkpoints, and spies? But Saddam understood something very important. He no longer needed an army. He only needed loyalty. And despite everything, he still had supporters. After the fall of Baghdad, Saddam stopped living like a ruler. No palaces, no luxury. No giant convoys. Instead, he moved secretly from house to house. Sometimes sleeping in tiny villages. Sometimes hiding inside farms. Sometimes underground. People close to him risked their lives to protect him. They would move him quietly at night. Very few people knew his exact location. Even those helping him often knew only pieces of the puzzle. And that made finding him extremely difficult. Meanwhile, rumors about Saddam spread everywhere. Some claimed he escaped Iraq completely. Others believed he was building a secret resistance army. Some even thought he was already dead. But then, audio recordings started appearing. In the recordings, Saddam's voice urged Iraqis to resist the Americans. This changed everything. Because now the United States knew one thing for sure. Saddam Hussein was still alive and somewhere inside Iraq. He was watching. The hunt intensified. America deployed elite forces. Intelligence teams studied Saddam's old habits, his family connections, his tribal relationships, his trusted friends. Every tiny detail mattered. And slowly, a pattern started appearing. Investigators realized Saddam was depending heavily on people from his hometown near the region of Tikrit. That area became the center of this manhunt. American soldiers searched endlessly there. Palm groves, mud houses, farms, tunnels, even river banks. Still nothing. Months passed. Then came a breakthrough. Not from satellites, not from advanced technology, but from a human mistake. One of Saddam's trusted couriers was identified. This man was extremely important because Saddam relied on him to communicate secretly. American intelligence believed if we follow this man, he may lead us to Saddam. So they watched carefully. Every movement, every meeting, every road. And finally, the trial led to a quiet farmhouse near the town of Ad-Dawn. At first, the place looked completely ordinary. Nothing special, no guards, no military vehicles, no signs of a dictator hiding there. But American forces had learned something during the Iraq War. The most dangerous places often look the most normal. The mission was given a dramatic name, Operation Red Dawn. On the night of December 13, 2003, elite American forces moved toward the farmhouse. The atmosphere was tense. Nobody knew what would happen. Would Saddam fight? Would there be hidden gunmen? Suicide attacks? Booby traps? The soldiers surrounded the area. Then the raid began. They stormed the farmhouse. Rooms were searched rapidly. Nothing. No Saddam. Soldiers searched nearly every building. Still nothing. For a moment, it felt like another failed operation. Another dead end. Then someone noticed something strange near the ground. A small hidden opening. Almost impossible to notice in the darkness. It was covered carefully. The soldiers moved closer. And suddenly, they realized what they were looking at. A hidden underground hole. A spider hole. The opening was tiny. Barely enough space for a human to fit inside. One soldier pointed his flashlight downward. And there, in the darkness, was Saddam Hussein. The dictator who once ruled millions was now hiding underground like a fugitive. The soldier shouted at him to come out. For a few seconds, everything became incredibly tense. Because nobody knew if he had explosives or weapons hidden below. Then Saddam slowly emerged from the hole. And the soldiers could barely recognize him. His appearance had completely changed. He had a long beard, messy hair, dirty clothes. He looked tired, older, almost broken. This was not the powerful leader seen in old speeches. This was a man who had spent months hiding in fear. According to soldiers present during the capture, Saddam reportedly said, "I am Saddam Hussein, President of Iraq." One American soldier replied, "President Bush sends his regards." Just like that, the hunt was over. No massive gunfight, no dramatic escape, no final battle. The most wanted man in the world had been found hiding underground beside a farmhouse. Inside the hole, American forces discovered weapons, cash, and supplies. But Saddam himself surrendered without firing a shot. And when news of the capture spread across the world, it became one of the biggest headlines on earth. Some Iraqis celebrated in the streets. Others remained silent. But almost everyone was shocked by one thing: the condition in which Saddam was found. Soon after capture, the United States released footage of Saddam undergoing a medical examination. Doctors inspected his hair, checked his mouth, looked inside his beard for lice. The images spread everywhere. For many people, these visuals symbolized the complete fall of a man who once ruled Iraq with absolute power. But even after the capture, violence in Iraq did not suddenly end. In fact, the country would continue facing years of conflict and instability. Still, Operation Red Dawn became one of the most famous manhunts in modern history. Because for months, the world's most powerful military searched desperately for one hidden man. And in the end, they found him beneath the ground, inside a tiny dark hole, just a few feet away from freedom.